What is up, everybody? Well, you want to see what we're working on this week? Krause accelerator. I bought this late last fall. I only had time to use it on a couple hundred acres last fall, but it's the main tillage rig. Now I sold my field cultivator a couple weeks ago, but I used to have a McFarlane reel disc, and it was a good machine, but it just wasn't aggressive enough with just having the one row of disc blades, and I've wanted one of these for years, and finally got one. And this thing's been well used, but we're gonna go through here and do a whole lot of rebuilding. I just picked up all new flat bar baskets for the back. It had these round bars, but they're worn out. They've been gobbered up with weld a bunch of times, and they're all breaking apart. These flat bars, in my opinion, are a lot more aggressive, like knocking the dirt out of the root balls, and I would rather have the flat bars. Going through it, other things that I noticed, like there is, it's hard to show it here, a ton of play in there for these star wheels. Yeah, look at the bolt and the bushings. Luckily it hadn't worn through that bushing yet, so gonna go through and change all those bolts and bushings. I don't have it yet, but I ordered the 8-degree angle kit from a company in Wisconsin. I think it's called Real Harrows. And talking to that guy, he had a kit for if they're a mechanical adjust or if they're a hydraulic. And the hydraulic kit was more, and he said that he tells everybody to just eliminate this system. He said it's a really bad design. So I'm going with the mechanical adjust kit because I'm going to set it on 8 degrees and I'm going to leave it there. And I see what he's talking about. So once I started looking this thing over, like, let's see that bracket on the end of that cylinder that's snapped off? About three quarters of them are broke. So I'll just take all that off, take all the hoses off. Once I get the kit, we'll video what it takes to put the 8-degree kit on. When I bought this from the dealer, I had it bundled in to get the entire blade kit and bearing kit. So I have all new blades and bearings, but I think I'm going to run it this spring, and then maybe we'll change them because they're not horribly worn down. Other than that, I was looking at these tires. I'm not really digging the way these tires look because you know it'll blow on the road this spring. So the 3 of them are original Goodyears. This one's been recently changed, Carlisle. I think what I'm going to do is take that and make it a spare rim and tire and get 3 Goodyears put on, because I have a brand new Goodyear spare right here. I'll just paint this rim silver, but those heavy highway FI tires, they're incredibly expensive. So we'll get it up in the air and check the wheel bearings and take the rims and tires off, but it's going to be a very expensive trip to the tire shop, because these are heavy highway Goodyears also. They're off of the planter, and they are stubble damaged big time. And they keep going flat because there's spots where the cords are showing. So 4 and 3, 7 heavy highway tires. Yay me. So, once we get going on this thing, I'll bring it back. Alright, I'm back working on this thing. My expensive trip to the tire shop got even more expensive, because not only did I put all new heavy FI tires on the mainframe, once I started looking at the wing tires, they were all dry rotted too. So every single tire on it is brand new. Changed all 8 of them, plus those 4 on the planter. Anytime that I replace implement tires, like on a tillage tool, this stuff's really expensive, but I swear by it. You don't get all the flats from little thorns on fence lines, your field edges, popping your tires. The tire guys don't like it whenever you get your tires changed the next time, but there's a chart, and I have a book that it came with that tells you how many. If you lift this up all the way and, push it all the way down, that's 4 ounces. So you figure every time you push it up and down, 4 ounces goes in the tire, and it took exactly 5 gallons of that to do these 8 tires. Mrs. G helped me yesterday put all the new rear reels on it, all new bearings, all new hardware, and she greased it. And like I said, I'm eliminating this hydraulic adjust kit, so Mrs. G went through and took all the hoses for it off the entire implement, just to get them out of the way. But, I mean, it's a bad design. 3/4 of them are broken like this. And since I'm putting the 8-degree angle kit on, it'll just go back to being a manual adjust, but I very highly doubt I'll ever take it off 8 degrees. That kit showed up. I got it from this company in Wisconsin. I really like how they shipped it. All these boxes are numbered, and then in the instructions it tells you which number goes in which location. So there's 8 spots where it adjusts. They even give you new decals, and they give you the touch-up paint, so that's pretty awesome. I'm gonna get set up and do one of them. You have to draw a line, take these bolts out, put a jack under the disc gang to hold it, then you draw a line across and use a cut-off wheel to cut that top plate, and then you have your new plates and all new hardware. So I'll get set up on that. I'll bring it back. All right, so you have to, for this 8-degree kit, you take a straight edge and you draw a line across to where you're cutting off all these pinholes. I think I'm going to go through about 1 million cutoff discs because I got to do this 8 times. But then I sanded it down, primed it, painted it, took the old decal off. This plate just sits like that, and then that angle bracket mounts it to this front plate, and then you put your new plate underneath. I'll show that once I bolt it all together, but I found that I have more work to do. On this tool, like I said, I bought it last fall. I only used it a little. I am very aware of where the weak points are on this because somebody has plated them and gusseted every one of them where the gang pivots here. The problem that I have is there's a bolt in a bushing from the factory right here that allows this to pivot. With the new kit, you take that out. That sits in there, and then there's some spacers that go here, and then this plate goes straight underneath there. See where there's that gusset welded in there? It's boxed in on each side. I'm gonna have to cut, I'm gonna have to cut that to get the clearance for that plate, which really sucks because I walked around and looked and every single one of them is boxed like that. Oh, I don't know why everything has to be so difficult. It's just, everything's a fight. All right, I've got it all bolted up. Got this bracket that comes over and supports it there. Got my new decal on, so with it where I have it now is at the farthest, most aggressive angle you can get, the 8-degree mark. Whereas if you wanted it the least aggressive, you'd move the pin over here and move this gang back and drop the other pin, to keep it from being able to move. But then these new plates are made to accept this hard to do it with one hand here. I'll accept the factory cover. So I'm going to go through and do the remaining 7 of cutting and putting this all on. And then I will deal with cutting those added on plates to get that piece in there that it pivots on. Well, I said earlier when I was working on that front corner that I wasn't looking forward to using the cutoff wheel on all 8 of the points on this thing, but I was pleasantly surprised when I got to one of the boxes for all the way across the back. They came with all new plates. You just unbolt it. So did not have to grind, like cut all of them on the back, just the ones on the front. I finished changing all of these bushings all the way across the back. Man, they were smoked. So I'm really hoping today to finish. I still got to do both brackets on the front right and button up some of the rest of the kit, but hopefully here this afternoon this thing can pull out of here and be ready to go, because if it ever dries out, it's gonna be go time. All right, guys, it's all done. Pretty nice looking tillage combo here. Well, as soon as it ever dries out and we get going, I'll do some videos on how this thing works out, how it's doing. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good weekend.